Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Shikellamy High School Stadium, located here in the Northumberland County seat of Sunbury, Pennsylvania, where tonight the Shikellamy Braves, 1-6 on the season, play host to the Mount Carmel area Red Tornadoes, 7-0, ranked number 1 in the state in Double-A. And this has all the lookings of a mismatch, Wayne, the way you look at it on paper. But we both know from 2 years ago, they're not always played on paper now, are they?
Well, I'll tell you why. Let's go back to 2 years ago. You're talking about the quarterback Bowman and Bartosik, who definitely had an outstanding night for themselves that year. I think they threw for something like 443 yards, I think the quarterback threw for. And again, it came down to Mount Carmel just rushing 4 guys and trying to stop them from scoring, even right down to the very end. So, yes, Shikellamy at that point. In fact, those two boys, Bowman and Bartosik, now joined up together at Susquehanna University, and the two of them are playing over there. Good luck to them. Tonight, though, as we were looking out on the field during warm-ups, Shikellamy really does not bring too much onto the field. Their first game, their first win came last week against Mifflinburg, and I think their halfback Lawler scored the only touchdown in the third quarter. They won the game 7-6 and have been hammered quite handily throughout the season, Warren. So for the Tornadoes coming off their win from North Schuylkill last week, everybody sort of looked at that, and we know what they've gone through over the last 5-6 games, and everybody said, oh, that was a close game during the week, and really it wasn't a close game. They came in, they were a little fired up, and they did move the ball up and down the field, but the Tornadoes a little let down, maybe not as high as maybe what they were against the Marion game, which was one of their best games of the season.
Well, you look at the first thing you notice here tonight is Mount Carmel area has come out on the field wearing white uniforms. It is the first time all year they wore white. Of course, they've always been dressed in red up until this point, so those of you who have those superstitions, this may be one of those games you want to have them. As you said, the Braves, Shikellamy, a proud program over the years, and one that we've played for quite a long time. In fact, this is about 100 years of football between us, between Sunbury, Northumberland, and then, of course, Shikellamy and the jointure. But in the last few years, not really the program you'd hoped it to be in the AAA level especially. And certainly it looks like Mount Carmel area, of course, they're looking down the line with Wyalusing coming up. Wyalusing, a key game in District 4 to decide who's going to be home field advantage. And then, of course, the next game after that is, of course, Stillings Grove, where everything begins to point. Expect Mount Carmel to come out tonight, try to put points on the board early, try to run away with the Braves, and then certainly try to sit everybody down and avoid any kind of injuries. I mean, that's not a given, but that's what they're going to aim at. And
again, as we looked at last week's game, Coach did talk about being able to pass the ball with Dave Shinsky. And Dave has done an outstanding job the last couple games, starting off with Marion, hitting his people out in the flats. And in the Marion game, I think he used 5 receivers in the first half. Last week, Coach said he was going to do even a little bit more passing, and that was evident. We seen John only carried the ball 24 times, I think, for 140-some yards, which is good because it does take pressure off of John when we start moving the ball. Coach is looking for a little bit of experience for Dave down the line, especially when we get to some of these tougher games. Wyalusing, as you said, is going to be definitely a little bit more difficult game than what we're used to. And also the Stillings Grove game coming up.
Shikellamy is going to kick off to Mount Carmel area, of course, and down deep from Mount Carmel area in the middle is Pilarski. He's flanked by Clea and Veach. Veach was fooling with his jersey there. I couldn't tell who that was for a second. So we're just about getting ready to start this game off, and there it is. It's going to be a squib kick. It goes down the middle. It'll end up with Pilarski, who bobbles it, and now Veach is going to have to fall on it, and he does. So Mount Carmel area flubbing the kickoff here to start the game off, as it was a kick they weren't expecting. So they'll take over down along the 12-yard line, where they'll take over 1st and 10. And already the Braves have started off with a little bit of pizzazz here to begin the evening.
Well, North Schuylkill did the same thing last week. Set the ball up. They don't want to kick it down. They saw exactly what each one of those deep receivers can do with the ball, including Jared Pilarski.
Shinsky brings him up. It's a straight-eye backfield. It goes to Veach. Veach right up the middle. Veach will be rode down on the play by number 55 for the Shikellamy Braves, and that is Kyle Aumann.
And Shikellamy's, they'll be showing you a 5-2 defense.
Gain of 6 on the play, 2nd down and 4 for the Red Tornadoes.
And they've been noted for that. We've seen that year in and year out, the same defense, no matter who's coached here. In fact, this year is the new coach again.
Yeah. Coach Mark Kirk, the head coach here at Shikellamy. Pitch back, and Veach dropped it. And we're going to see who fights that out. I'm not sure who recovered the ball. A pitch out to Veach and it hit the ground. It looks like John has recovered the fumble, but
3rd down.
It's going to bring up 3rd down, and now the ball back inside the 10-yard line, and it's going to be sitting at the Mount Carmel 6-yard line. So offensively not looking so good there in the first series for the Red Tornadoes.
Yeah, we can't call it too much jitters here. We're just maybe complacency a little bit. The pitch was a little bit behind Veach. He couldn't handle the ball, but the best thing to do is, drop down on you and recover it.
So it brings up a 3rd down and about 16 yards to go for the 1st down. And Shinsky goes back to pass, drops back, no pressure. Now he looks down the side. He was looking for Clea. Clea turned around as he looked for the ball, and simply Shinsky just threw the ball away from him a little bit.
Yeah, as you take a look there, everybody was open there. Clea was open for a while. Steve Metsur cutting across the field. There was nobody by him. The only thing was, I think Dave was sort of looking that Josh was going deep, and Josh cut to the outside around the 40-yard line.
So Shinsky back in his own end zone to punt the ball. Whistles on the play. I did not see a flag, did you?
No.
The play was blown dead, and we're waiting to see what the call is there as they're now conferring with each other. I'm not sure. I didn't see anybody do anything. Shikellamy guy runs off the field.
Might be.
And it probably is illegal participation. We had an extra guy in there. He was trying to hide there at the last minute, but then was forced to use the indignity of running off on his own in front of everybody. So
and we found out that doesn't work.
No, you can't hide in that situation. So it moves the ball 5 yards up. It's 4th down and 11 now for Shinsky, as he will punt now right from his own goal line. It's a nice kick up. It's going to come down around the 40-yard line and give it a nice Mount Carmel bounce, and it will come dead in Mount Carmel area territory about the 49-yard line of the Red Tornadoes. So the Braves start out in good field position for their first offensive series.
Well, defensively, I don't know if Shikellamy really did much of anything. I think we did that to ourselves in the first series. But, again, you start reading the papers. The kids might have a little bit difficult time getting back up for another game, and, it's best to get it out of the way at the beginning of the game.
So number 7, that's Bradley Wolf. He'll bring him up. He's the quarterback here in the Shikellamy offense. Wolf goes back to pass instantly. He's under heavy pressure there by Swank. He avoids the pressure by Swank, sends it down, and he's hit number 46 down there. That's Michael Martin. So Martin on the reception, and the Braves start their offensive series out with a big gainer on a pass play all the way down to the Mount Carmel area 21-yard line, where it's 1st and 10 Braves.
Nice play, good blocking. It gave the quarterback enough of time just to release the ball and make the reception.
He's going to hand off to the deep back. That's 26 on the play. That's Andy Hoffman. Hoffman didn't gain a yard on the play. He'll be stopped for no gain. He'll bring up 2nd down and 10. And that's Jasenchak coming off the pile there.
And it looks like tonight we have number 55, Shoppy. Dave Shoppy starting. It looks like Shoppy's going over in the tackle position. We have Matt Booker starting at nose guard, number 50. Yeah.
Wolf brings him up. He hands off to the short back there. That's number 31, Loffer. The ball gets loose, but he was down by contact on the ground. He crossed over the 20 to about the 18. About a gain of 2 yards on the play. It'll bring up 3rd down and 8. for the Braves.
Dave Shoppy coming in from the right tackle position to make that stop. Lawfer was running to his right in the opposite direction of Shoppy. Shoppy breaks through, makes the initial hit with Steve Matsur, number 21, coming up and making the second contact.
Third down, 7.5 yards. About 2, third and 7. They're in a pro set. To the wide side, 30 in the near. High formation.
This time Wolf they're running the option play. He gets it back to Hoffman. Hoffman gets down to the 15-yard line and maybe the 14-yard line, where it'll bring up 4th down.
Nice play by Shikellamy. They spread everybody out. They went into a pro set. They had a wide receiver out to the left-hand side to spread the defense out. They had a slot man over on the right-hand side, and it was just a nice option play.
So 4th and 3 now for the Braves. Ball sitting on the Mount Carmel area 14-yard line as Wolf brings them up. Wolf gives it to the up back, and that's Loeffler. Loeffler may have gotten it or may not have, and this is going to be a measurement here as he's very close to the first down. They have not signaled the first down yet and are probably going to look at the chains at the moment, bring him in, and they are. So a big measurement here early in the football game for both the Braves and the Tornadoes, Wayne.
This is, I'll tell you what, they're running a nice option play. You take a look, they're watching the dive man and, handed it off. And in that case there, I'll tell you in a second. And, I don't say yes.
First down by truly the end of the football, but we're going to see.
He didn't signal just yet. He's getting something out to look.
There
First
it is.
Down, he gave it to him.
There it is. It was by the thinnest of margins, but the Braves with a first down now on the Mount Carmel area 14-yard line. 7:53 here in the first period.
Now here's the key to the option, to running the option play, is that the defense has to explode off the ball quicker than the offense does. The initial part of this offense is to blow the defensive man 2 yards off the line.
Quick pass play. He was looking for number 46 on the play, and Martin never got turned around in time. The pass was a little bit quicker than he expected it.
Well, that's because the quarterback had a lot of pressure that time. Matsura was in, Swank was in, had his hands up and everything, and the quarterback just had to release the ball. He was not going to take the sack.
So it brings up in 2nd and 10 now for the Braves. The ball sitting on the Mount Carmel area, about the 11-yard line. Wolf's taking his time now, looking over the defense. He's going to pitch it back to Hoffman. Hoffman's trying to get outside, and he is not, as Yasenchak brings him down hard. A loss on the play as Hoffman's caught behind the line of scrimmage, and the Braves will move back a little bit. The ball going to be set down on the 14-yard line, so it'll bring up a 3rd down now and about 12.
Great play there by Shoppy and Booker in the center of the line to give Vincey enough of room to get through, run a stunt play there, give him the gap and let him shoot it. And he got the halfback before he just about when at the same time he got the pitch.
Hoffman will drop back to pass. He's looking downfield, and he's looking for the big guy, number 11 down there. That's Matt Purdy. He got it over his head. It's incomplete. It'll bring up a 4th down and 12 now for the Braves from the Mount Carmel area 13-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like the quarterback has a difficult time looking over the line a little bit. I think he's a little shook with the quick rush that's come in on him from the defensive side. The 2 passes that he did throw, he did throw early to get rid of the ball.
We're going to go for a field goal here. Number 24 on the field, that's Garrett Bloom, and he's going to go with a field goal. He gets it up, and I believe he got it through, and it's good. So the Braves draw first blood here on the Tornadoes tonight at the 6:43 mark of the first quarter. It is Shikellamy 3, Mount Carmel area 0. And if that's not a wake-up call for the Tornadoes, nothing will be.
Well, hey, does that bring back some memories of some people who have watched these two teams play for years, and I mean really stuck in some people's crawl here a little bit. 1967, we remember up at Mount Carmel. 9,609 paid at that game. It was a torrential downpour. We had people all over the place. Gary Diminick was running the ball at that time. Joe Ambrose was running the ball. He was the fullback.
Hambone.
Hambone
Ambrose.
That's right. And Bobby Veach, our boy, was running the ball. The quarterback was Doc Greco at the time. We ran the ball up and down that field. And, of course, everybody knows we lost the game 3-0 on a field goal from Chuck Smeltz.
So Bloom is going to set it up for the kickoff here. And Mount Carmel area twitching a little bit here as the Braves take an early 3-0 lead. And I'm sure Coach
Brennan's chewing on somebody over there, did you say?
I'm stopped talking. I'm looking at another bounce kick. This time Veach will pick it up, and he's going to have a little bit of room to run. Not a whole lot, though, as he's going to go down very quickly. In fact, almost no gain on the run back as Veach goes down. And that's number 2 on the play, Kovacic, and number 83, Abdil. So they make the big stop on Veach. And that Kovacic I made up as I was going on that one. Hopefully I got it right. I wasn't anticipating his name coming up quickly, but it did. So Mount Carmel area now back on offense and down 3-0, and one of the very few times they've been down all season long.
Especially at the beginning of the game.
Handoff right up the middle.
Flag.
Fumble.
Fumble on the Shikellamy's ball.
Braves have recovered a fumble. The ball on the recovery of the ball will be just about
it's on the 20-yard
line, where the Braves will take over once again, 1st and 10 deep in Mount Carmel area territory, and the Red Tornadoes now need to wake up very quickly.
Yeah. They just can't keep on playing like this. They should be happy that it's not a Selinsgrove team that this is that we're on the field with. It would definitely be a different story here.
Wolf on the option play. He pitched it away from Hoffman, so Hoffman falls on it. Hoffman falls on it back at the 30-yard line, so it'll bring up a 2nd down and 20 for the Braves, as the pitch just got away from Hoffman as he tried to look back to get it.
Well, the thing is, you don't know how much pounding. Wolf is not a very big boy.
No.
What is the size of Wolf?
He's 160 pounds,
160
so
pounds.
he's kind of a slight guy out there.
And he is taking a pounding, whether he's running it to the left or the right. Either Cuff is laying low on him or Ziegler, number 40.
So now we go into a shotgun formation, and we look straight over, and right away we hit number 26 on the sideline. He picks up some big yardage, and that's Hoffman. Hoffman kind of trailed out of the backfield there from the position he was in, and catches a nice pass from Hoffman. And Mount Carmel area right now is being surprised. They look like they haven't seen these plays before.
That play there, and we haven't. That play there, they went back into a shotgun. They put all of their halfbacks out. In fact, there were 4 receivers that time on that left-hand side. We did have it covered. We had it covered man for man, but the defender did slip there trying to come in.
A 16-yard gain brings up a 3rd and 4 for the Braves. He's back to pass again. He's going to look again for number 11 there, and it's intercepted in the end zone. Number 26, Lentini, has intercepted the ball in the end zone to end the Brave drive, and he never saw Lentini coming over there is what it really was. He was concentrating on 11, and the big guy, Purdy's a tall guy, real slight guy, 173 too, but real tall. I'd tell you how tall, but I'd have to make these numbers. You're the math guy. They don't use the regular numbers here.
Regular?
Well, I mean, we're not breaking them down into feet and inches here.
Irregular?
I mean, if you want me to say that, number 11,
where are we at?
Purdy is 73.5 inches tall.
6 feet 3 inches.
Okay.
6 foot, 1.5 he is.
So the Red Tornadoes take off with Ziegler up the middle, the big guy, the fullback. Purdy on the tackle. 3-yard gain, 2nd and 7 now for the Red Tornadoes.
I'll tell you what, Shikellamy's come out with a tough defense.
Coming out with an attitude is what they're coming out with.
A swarming defense. They're all over the ball. Wherever that ball goes, they are there. They don't care who's carrying it.
Shinsky's going to pass now. He's looking for Lentini. He gets him, and right out of Lentini's hands at the 25. So it'll bring up a 3rd and 7 for the Tornadoes now. And the Tornadoes definitely look a little rusty offensively right now.
I don't know if you want to call it rusty even.
.431 remaining here in the first quarter. And again, shocked faces on the Mount Carmel side as they are now behind 3-0 to the Braves as Shinsky brings him up and he'll go back to pass again. Very little pressure. He looks downfield, and that's number 2, Clea. Clea catches the ball over the 30-yard line, enough for the first down where it's 1st and 10. Here's the replay here. You'll see very little pressure on Shinsky, and watch Clea make that comeback to the ball as you see him coming down the field.
There it is.
Real crisp turn.
Yep, and that's what you want to do. We said that all year long. He runs such a good pattern for Dave. You know, Dan, you're coming back 2 yards, and not only are you coming back 2 yards, you're heading towards the sidelines, and that's what you want to do. Dave is throwing it away from the defender. There's no way that can be intercepted.
Ball at the Mount Carmel area 32, and now you see motion,
Ziegler.
but the big guy, and that's Ziegler, and Ziegler comes pounding out there. Number 16 for the Braves, Seth Temple on the stop, but some yardage there by Ziegler, as we have seen before, and he pops it up to the 37-yard line or so.
Again, they used Veach in motion that time, faked the pitch to Veach around the right side, and give it back to Ziegler coming in this direction.
Gain of 5 on the play. It brings up 2nd down and 5 for the Red Tornadoes as we line up in the I-back formation. And this time Veach will get the carry, and Veach up over the 40-yard line, enough for the, well, very close to the first. I don't want to say enough for it, but he's very close to it.
Great pull block by number 69, Cuffey there, Nick. Exploded and just knocked the defensive end right out of the way. There was a huge hole there for John to run through.
First down for the Red Tornadoes now as offense begins to click a little bit here, and they begin to move field position at least. Ball sitting on the Mount Carmel area 43-yard line. Shinsky goes back to pass. He finds Lentini, and Lentini had to lean over a little bit and went down without contact, but he moves it up over the 45-yard line to the 46-yard line. A gain of about 3 on the play will bring 2nd down and 7.
Well, coach is now mixing it up a little bit, although he has some room now on the field to get into the playbook and you know, give a different look, keep the defense a little bit honest, keep them from, you know, at least putting pressure or blitzing a linebacker at this point on this point of the field.
Goes to Veach. Veach pounds it up over the midfield stripe. Mount Carmel area now passing into Brave territory for the first time this evening. It'll bring up a 3rd down and short, 3rd down and about 2. Braves continue to play tough on defense. That front line is particularly tough right now on the defensive side of the ball. We give it to Veach. Veach pops it over, and he'll have enough for the first down with his forward progress, and he's down to the Brave 46-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10 Red Tornadoes.
Number 45, Mike Lashinsky comes in that fullback position in that powerhouse set with Ziegler.
Matt Surra comes back in the lineup along with Clea, and number 45, Polarski, leaves.
No, it's,
I'm sorry, Lashinsky. I will never get 45 and 42 right as long as I live here. They may have to put little marks on their uniform, so I know the difference pretty soon here. Right up the middle to the big guy, the fullback. That's Ziegler. He brings it over the 35 or the 45-yard line down to about the 43 of the Braves.
I'll tell you what, I'm sort of impressed with the defense that the Braves are putting in here. They are making some hits. They're having some holes put in their line a little bit, but they're recovering very quickly. The gains are not as big as what we're used to seeing here.
3-yard gain on the play. 2nd and 7 now for Shinsky. Shinsky goes back to pass, pumps once. He's under heavy pressure, and Shinsky, from what I can tell, never saw number 31, and that's Loffer. Loffer came right up through the corner there, and he fumbled it. He hit Shinsky in a fumble, and the Tornadoes have turned the ball over again tonight And really, this is uncharacteristic for Red Tornado football so far here this evening.
Nobody touched number 81. He just came
31.
31, untouched. And you're right. Dave was looking to the right down the field, towards our bench, and never saw him coming from the backside until the very last minute.
I'll tell you right now, Coach Brennan is not a happy camper at this moment in time.
I don't want to be in that locker at halftime.
Wolf again on that pitch on the option, and this time it goes nowhere as both Matsura and Yasenchak, the two linebackers, combine to stop the play.
Yeah, if that play is going to work for them tonight, they really have to run it a little bit quicker. Wolf is not breaking to the outside as quick, and Ziegler's recovering. Ziegler's coming in as fast as he possibly can, and making Wolf pitch the ball much quicker than what he should be.
Well, it's at their timeout on the field for the Braves. There's 42 seconds left in a quarter, and we from what we understand, the Braves opened the game up at Mifflinburg last week and also ran the option, but once it was stuffed in the first quarter, very quickly abandoned it. They bagged it all together and went back to a more traditional offense. Now, tonight, the one part of the offense that has not had any success is the option. I do not expect to keep seeing them run the option. They are not quick enough to get around the ends, and that's really what's hurting them. There's too much speed here to do that. They need to get up in the middle. They need to get off the tackle a little bit, but they need to throw the ball to keep us loose.
Yeah.
And when they were doing that, they were having some success, but they will not do it when running the option.
You see we were in the huddle there with our camera that time. You see on the plays on those options, we are releasing the defensive end. And it all depends on how you want to play, but we are crashing the defensive end towards the quarterback and making him pitch. And we're hoping that our linebackers are going to cover the pitch man. That time, both linebackers, Yasenchak and Matsura, were in on that tackle.
So we go back into the end of the shotgun with nobody in the backfield with him in that trips formation. He looks directly again, and he got Purdy, but Purdy dropped it. And Purdy throws it. He throws an interception. That's 85 Dillo on the interception, and that play was dead in the water from the moment it started. They should have never tried that.
See, I don't understand where I'm standing right here. I was directly across from that.
Here's a replay of it. You'll see it was in trouble from the start as Purdy drops it and then looks downfield. He had no chance of completing the pass by the time he threw it and should have went out of bounds with it.
What happened there was he was in front of the quarterback. That was a forward pass. The ball hit the ground. It's a dead ball. I don't know where the referee was standing on that point. Yeah. It wasn't behind him. That was not a lateral.
So the Red Tornadoes take over 1st and 10 on their own 31, and this time Veach has a head of steam on him this time. And he takes it up to the 40-yard line where it'll be 2nd down and 1 for the Red Tornadoes.
Okay, again, now on that left-hand side, now you see some holes from cuff number 69, Swank to center, number 54, number 55, Dave Shoppy that time, really opening up some holes for Veach. And Veach running with a little bit of authority that time, and he looks like he's a little disturbed, a little disgusted with what's going on out there. And you can tell by the way he carries the ball.
That's the end of the first quarter of play here at Braves Shikellamy High School Stadium, where the Braves lead the Tornadoes 3-0 on a field goal by Bloom, and not the score anybody expected. Now we come back here to start the second quarter of play, and I'll tell you what, Wayne, I would not have wanted to be in that little huddle on the sidelines. Coach Brennan was not a happy man.
I had my headset off, and I swear what I heard was an ooh and an ah, and it was coming from Selinsgrove Field when they announced Shikellamy 3, Mount Carmel nothing at the end of the first quarter.
So Coach Brennan reads the riot act to the group there at the end of the quarter as we start the second quarter, and Veach now at the ball, still churning. Veach up to about the 48-yard line of the Red Tornadoes. It'll be 1st and 10. Give me a chance to remind everybody that you are watching WKMC TV. We are the broadcasting arm of Mount Carmel Area High School. You catch us every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock on Channel 13 of the Service Electric Cable System. We are an instructional fixed television service. Shinsky back to Veach. This time stopped dead in the backfield. That's number 64, Zachary Teicher. So Teicher makes the play and puts Veach down in the backfield for a loss on the play of about 3. It'll bring up a 2nd and 13 now for the Red Tornadoes. Just kind of an off-balance look about us tonight so far here. We have not been able to get anything moving for ourselves.
And Shikellamy playing a good defense, good swarming defense.
Shinsky's looking. He's got Clea, and he finds Clea. Clea makes a nice little turn into the middle. He's going to be stopped on the other side of the 50-yard line in Braves territory at the 48-yard line. It'll bring up a third down and probably about. Here's a replay coming up. You'll see Clea make that little turn. It's a pretty little move there as Shinsky, under some pressure, lets loose, and there's Clea. Nice catch that time by Clea and a little bit of run afterwards.
Yeah. We see some pressure still coming from the backside.
Yeah.
Number 31.
3rd and 6 now as Shinsky again looks to pass. And this time he had Matsura wide open, and Matsura down the sidelines before he's put out of bounds by number 26, Andy Hoffman. But nice play that time by the Red Tornadoes, and the Braves were caught a little bit surprised by what happened there.
Yeah, Matsura in motion out of the backfield. Take a look here. And it's a nice pass because all Dave has to do is just roll that way. He squares out, catches the ball, and he's down for a number of yards. And again, all you're looking for there is for Clea to clear out the zone for the out man, and that's all Matsura was doing. He gets to the hash mark, and he squares to the outside 7 yards down the field. Catches the ball, and what they're looking for is, a one-on-one coverage there, and Matsura could break away. That time he did. He picked up another extra 7 or 8 yards.
Takes the ball down to the Mount Carmel area 29-yard line. The Braves have called a timeout here to try to regroup as almost right away they're in trouble as Mount Carmel begins now to find some openings in the passing game.
Well, we take a look at the history. We talked about how long these two teams. It goes back 1904. We started playing Northumberland. We played them. It ended up 3-1-1 in the series. 1900 we started playing Sunbury. I'm sorry. Played Sunbury all the way up until from 1900 to 1964.
Well, 1st and 10 now for the Tornadoes. And they have Veach in motion. He's going to cut up in a flag down right smack in the middle of the Tornado line there, and you can pretty much guess where that's going to go. So a setback for the Tornadoes that they've made their deepest penetration and now get hit with a major penalty. Yeah. And things just have not been going well so far for Big Red. They're going to place the ball back down at the 39-yard line. So it's going to be 1st and 20 now for the Red Tornadoes from the 39.
Number 79, he started the game and we sort of missed him since the beginning. 79, John Skinner coming in to play that right tackle position for the Tornadoes. And
Shinsky calls a timeout for the Red Tornadoes now. 10 minutes and 2 seconds remaining here in the first period of play. And again, the Braves lead 3-0. Supper Club last night. We had a great Supper Club again, Capacity House. Plenty of good food and good comradeship. A lot of questions asked. Coach had a lot of good answers last night as we, of course, looked down, and Phil gave us the ultimate. We'll try to give you some of that look of that District 4 as the game wears on tonight. Kind of ran down where everybody is. It's now pretty much crunch time for
the Tornadoes.
The district play and for the Red Tornadoes to see if they can gain a district playoff spot. And, of course, the all-important home field advantage is all you know. The other people in this division right now in District 4 that are leading are Wyalusing, Towanda, and Troy, and they are all more than 890 miles away from us. So you do not want to end up going into the northern tier again to play as we did last year. So
get your longies out.
Hopefully we can gain a home field advantage as we go through the season. So Shinsky brings him up as the timeout is over, and he's faced with a 1st and 20 now. And he goes back to pass, a nice fake. He looks downfield, and there's the big guy, Yasenchak. And Yasenchak takes it down to about the 31-yard line.
And covered, too. Number 26 and number 25 are right on Vincey as he was coming across the field. Take a look. Vincey's coming from the left side of your screen into the middle of the field. Well covered. Dave had some pressure, sat back in that pocket. We're used to seeing Dave rolling out a little bit, sat in the pocket long enough, and saw Vincey coming across.
2nd and 11 now for the Red Tornadoes. As we pitch back to Veach, and we got Ziegler, the big guy, out in front of him. Veach makes the cutoff of him, and Veach will go out of bounds. It looks like a fumble on the play, but he went out of bounds down along the 21-yard line.
Need some lead blockers. I'll tell you what, Ziegler was looking for someone down there to hit all the way down the sidelines, and leading in front of him was Nick Cuff, and Nick was also looking. So it sort of got bogged up down there, everybody running down in that direction, and Veach took it out of bounds.
So it'll bring up a short 3rd and 1, a long one for the Red Tornadoes. The ball sits just on the other side of the 20-yard line of the Braves.
Ooh.
And the Braves go offside there, so it'll be an automatic first down unless it's against us. We have all kind of pointing going on there, but I didn't see us move. Let's see who it goes against, and it is going against the Braves, as I thought. I didn't see any movement from us, so offside on the Braves on the big 3rd and 1 play. So on the 5-yard penalty, it is both a first down, and we now place the ball down on the 14-yard line. Shinsky gives to Ziegler. Ziegler's loose in the backfield, and he's going to take it in. A 15-yard scamper for Aaron Ziegler from the fullback position, and just like that, Mount Carmel area now in the lead, 6-3. Here's the replay, and you can see he goes in pretty much untouched.
Yeah, he keeps his head up. As soon as he gets through the line, he picks his head up to see where everybody's at.
There he is. He shook one tackle, and then it was all over. No one was going to catch him as he rumbles in there. So Medalis now sets up for the extra point, and he pops it up there, and I don't think he got it, and he didn't. So the score will sit at 7-3, but a flag on the play. And it's roughing the kicker against the Braves. Unsportsmanlike call, and the Braves roughing the kicker. And now Mount Carmel area says they'll go for 2.
Usually that'll take it down to the 1-yard line, and any team usually from the 1-yard line can pick up that extra yard and you want the 2 points if you can get them.
So Big Red now lining up for a 2-point conversion attempt as Coach Brennan has a last-minute conversation with Veach. So we'll line up straight I-back formation, and we pitch it to Veach, and Veach drops it. And that's a second time we've seen that go wrong for us, as the pitch is not working very well, and Mount Carmel area will not be able to gain a 2-point play, and score will remain at the 8:33 mark here of the second quarter. Mount Carmel area 6 and the Shikellamy Braves 3.
It just looked like it was a little bit hard pitch. Dave could have taken just maybe a little bit off and let him a little bit, but you sort of get anxious down there. You want those 2 points. You want to pop that ball over that goal line, and anything happens. Getting back to all these games that we played. Again, we ended the series with Sunbury in 1964. 1965, they started the Shikellamy jointure, and we've played Shikellamy all the way up to this point. We have not lost to Shikellamy in the last 17 years.
Yeah, so it's been a while.
This is a string. At this point, we're leading 25-8-2. Playing Shikellamy. Overall, Northumberland, Sunbury, and Shikellamy, the record is 55-26-3 for 84 games.
So Yasenchak tees it up, and he'll kick it deep. And he does. Very good kick. Ball goes to number 9. I don't know who that is unless it's 8. I'm sorry, 8. And that's Brown. Chris Brown on the return. Nice kick by Yasenchak. Brown brings it up to about the 20-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10. Of course, Lentini.
Johnny Dara makes a great hit. Take a look at this hit by Johnny Dara.
This is why I can look good when I finally see who does things here. As there you see him make the turn, and boom, that's Dara. And then Lentini with help on the end, but Dara making the big hit on Brown. And now the Braves trailing come out here 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. And we come out with that shotgun formation, Wayne, and we got the whole team on the on his left side.
What they're looking for is, somebody that's not matched up.
Purdy is going to lose yardage. He's be dropped back around the 16-yard line for a 4-yard loss on the play.
And you see who makes the tackle. Number 69, Chris Cuff, coming from his defensive end position, had to sprint over there at least 15 yards until he got to the receiver.
So bring up a 2nd down and 14 on the loss as Purdy is caught behind the line of scrimmage. And we've seen that play now several times, and we have not seen it do anything, but I'm sure we're going to see it again because it seems like a play that they're comfortable running. We back into a more traditional stance. We hand it off to the up back. That's 31, Laufer. And Laufer, if he got back to the line of scrimmage, he would be lucky. It'll bring up 3rd down and 14 now for the Braves as Laufer got nowhere.
Yeah, they're sticking with the option play, and he's looking. What he's doing is he's leading the dive man through the hole with the ball. If the quarterback feels, and you really need an intelligent quarterback to do this. If he feels that he's going to pick up some yardage, 3-4 yards, he hands the ball off. If not, he has to pull it out in time.
Well, Wolf brings him up here in a passing situation as Wolf goes back. He's looking for the screen, and he has Laufer over there, and he's got Laufer with some room to run. Laufer will be brought down short of the 1st down at about the 28-yard line or so. It's about 2 yards short of the 1st down, but a nice play by the Braves as they get Laufer isolated, and he picks up some big yardage. But it'll bring 4th down up and 2, and the Braves will be forced to punt.
Yeah, look at they're just looking for that isolation, that one-on-one, and they got it. Actually, nobody came out on them to cover him that time.
Number 24 back in punt formation, and that's Bloom, the same guy that does the field goal kicking and the kickoff. So Bloom to kick off, and he's got Clea and Veach back deep. Nice punt, goes in Clea's direction. It'll bounce in front of him, and the Red Tornadoes will let it go, and the Braves fall on it on the Mount Carmel area 38-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10, Red Tornadoes.
Well, I think that little talk there at the break time between quarters did a little bit. I don't know how you feel about it, but offensively, we moved the ball down. Defensively, we stopped them what we had to do and made them punt. Coach has that way about him.
Oh, yeah.
He just has that.
He's very persuasive.
Yes, he is.
Shinsky brings him up, and he'll look to pass immediately, and he sees Clea, and he's got Clea loose now. Clea continues, and he goes up over the midfield stripe all the way down to the Shikellamy Brave 43-yard line where it's 1st and 10, and he was one step away from a touchdown.
Yes,
Here's the replay of it. And watch the nice run he puts on at the end of this pass play. One guy keeps him from going to a touchdown, and a big play for the Red Tornadoes. 1st and 10 at the 43 of the Braves.
And that's, again, that's what Josh brings to the field. You know, he brings those great patterns for Dave to throw to, but also the speed and the agility after he catches the ball.
Back to pass again. This time we look the other side, and it's Medalis. The ball gets away from Medalis. It'll bring up a 2nd and 10 now for the Red Tornadoes.
And take a look. Take a look at the pass patterns that Coach is running. Nothing deep. Nothing any more than maybe 5-10 yards downfield, and everything is on to the outside of the middle of the field. The only one I went across the field was Vincey that caught the ball for that 15-yard pickup early in the
tight end, dragging the tight end across.
Dragging the tight end. Everything else is to the outside.
5:44 remaining in the first half of play. This time Ziegler right up the middle, the fullback again running free, and he crosses over the 35-yard line down to about the 34 of the Braves, where it'll bring up 3rd down and about a yard.
And all they need on that play, because we run deep slot left, and we brought Veach out as a wide man out to the right-hand side. And they left Ziegler back there. And what you need there is you're telling your linemen, we need perfect blocking in the center of that line, because Ziegler can take care of the linebacker on his own as he's running that ball.
Veach will pick up the 1st down and then some as he takes it all the way down to about the 27-yard line of the Braves, where it's 1st and 10, Red Tornadoes. Red Tornadoes now building a little bit of steam on offense as they are now becoming a little bit more methodical in their marches downfield and have not had any bad mistakes in this drive.
Yeah, it's in the middle of the field, right in the middle of that line. You got Swank, you got Booker, and you got Cuff, the middle of our offensive line, running some stunts, some nice pull plays, trap blocking on the inside, and just some straight ahead blocking. And now they're starting to explode off the ball, and I don't think that's what they were doing in the first quarter.
No.
And that's one of the reasons why we were a little lethargic when we first came in. Now all of a sudden you see Veach takes over. He's starting to run with some authority out there, and you can always see John. Even last year, I remember talking. You could see the difference in John from the first half to the second half of a football game. John would come out and he would be upset with maybe something that was going on, and you could see the authority that he would and the strength that he was running with, and the speed and the power in the second half. And he did that in the second quarter, at the beginning of the second quarter. And again, it might have been just by the little talk that Coach had over there.
Yeah. So 1st and 10 now from the 27-yard line of the Braves. Ashinsky brings them up. Lone back in the backfield is Ziegler. He steps back to pass, and he looks deep, and there he's got Veach if he can get him, and he does. Touchdown, Mount Carmel area.
No.
We'll watch the replay on it to see. It looked like a touchdown. He's in the far corner from the press box. We'll see if we get a replay on this and see what happened down deep as Veach had broken past his defender, and we're not going to see a replay apparently. So no, that isn't. No. It keeps looking like him, but it isn't. So it brings up a 2nd down and 10 now for the Red Tornadoes on what looked like a touchdown pass, but was not. This time goes the number 42, Pilarski, and he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage by number 11, Purdy. Purdy makes a beautiful tackle from his linebacker position, and he gets a little help there from big number 55, Kyle Allman.
Trying to run the Tornadoes running a misdirection play. We got Veach in motion, hoping to drag the linebacker from that side over past the center. Now, as soon as we do that, what we're doing is we're running to the left of our center, hoping that he takes himself, the linebacker on the right-hand side, does take himself out of the play a little bit for Pilarski to run by.
So now 3rd and 10 for the Red Tornadoes that they've bogged down at the 27-yard line of the Braves. He's looking down deep, and now he's got everybody wide open, and that's going to be maybe a touchdown. It is Clea. He had Veach also wide open down there. So Clea with the touchdown pass, a 27-yard toss from Shinsky at the 3:59 mark of the second period, and the Red Tornadoes pop out to a 12-3 lead now, and we'll see what they decide to do as far as the extra point is concerned, and they're discussing it among them.
Now that play, Dave could have done anything. He could have. He threw to.
He had everybody open on that play.
He had Veach that he actually could have ran that ball and maybe even scored himself because he was wide open.
So the Red Tornadoes will like to go for 2 here, and we'll see what play they choose.
No, Veach was open on this side.
It's clear on that reception.
Shinsky brings him up. He puts Veach in motion. And he's going to roll back Purdy. A lot of pressure from Purdy. And a nice play inside by the Braves. And I'll see, we were looking at Mansoura, but
82 made the hit. Maybe number 5, I think, also for the Braves.
I'm guessing on that one now. I think it was 5. That would be Kovachetz. Nick Kovachetz. All right. We're now going to have that replay of the touchdown I called that wasn't. We're just a little play behind here, so we'll see what. Oh, here it goes. Now you'll see we called a touchdown here as he looks down in the corner, and watch what happens at the very end. And he did. He dropped the ball. It came out as he hit the end zone back there, so we didn't see that in the far end down there. So the Red Tornadoes will line up to kick off to the Braves here as Jasenchek, number 6, the big one, is going to kick it off, and he'll kick deep down there to number 26. That's Hoffman
and number
16, and that'll be Seth Temple. So Hoffman and Temple in deep formation for the Braves.
Winner of this evening's game ball is Jeff Lewis Sunbury.
Kickoff, and it'll be Hoffman down along the 10-yard line as he starts upfield. And he's going to be tackled by a group of Mount Carmel area players down there. Getting off the bottom is number 21, Matsura, also with some help, though, from number 30 for the Red Tornadoes. That's Mark Kovaleski.
Yeah, we called Mark's name a couple of times. I think we're going to try that next time, the next kickoff. It's going to either be Matsura. I'm going to flip a coin. It's going to either be Matsura or Lentini in on the tackle.
All right. You got her.
I'll try it.
So Wolf will bring him up. He's got Hoffman and Loffer behind him. Loffer, of course, the big fullback. And it's going to go to Hoffman, and Hoffman's in trouble immediately as he'll lose yardage on the play. And actually, you reckon that play is 54, Swank. He was the guy that stood everything up and was finished off by Cuff and a few of his friends. So
Shoppy, number 55, Dave Shoppy, Nick Cuff, number 69, in on that tackle also. But you're right, Swank was the original hit and stood the Loffer straight up in the air.
3-yard loss on the play for the Braves. It'll bring up a 2nd and 13 now. The ball sitting about their 20-yard line. He rolls out in the option there, and he's looking, but he's down. He was not able to get past
Ziegler, number 40.
Ziegler, the big guy, the end, played that perfectly, and he brings Wolf down. About another yard loss on the play or so it should bring a 3rd and 14 up. And the Mount Carmel area defense now has begun to assert itself and has taken over a little bit the line of scrimmage from the Braves. 2 minutes and 50 seconds remaining here in the first half of play.
Ooh, now we got 4. They got a lineup over there, 4 receivers to the right side.
He looks over and he's looking over here for Loffer. Loffer's brought down by Cuff, but there'll be a penalty on the play. It'll be a face mask penalty on the Red Tornadoes as he reached up and grabbed the hold of the face mask as he was bringing Loffer down. And they'll decide now which face mask penalty it is, I think, here. But
well, I'll tell you what, it's sort of a dangerous play to be calling there. They have 5 guys
here's the
over
replay,
on the right
you
side.
can see what happens.
Look at Wolf. He's looking. All of a sudden, he turns around, he throws it. And Cuff did exactly what he was supposed to do. He saw number 31 fading out to the flat on the left-hand side, and he did not rush Wolf, the quarterback, and I think that's what they were looking for. They were looking for Cuffy to give him pressure from the backside, leaving number 31 all alone back there to receive the ball out on the flat. Cuffy did exactly what he was supposed to do. He held off. He saw number 31 going out, and he went out to cover him.
So a 15-yard penalty takes the ball up to the Brave 29-yard line, just about the 30-yard line of the Braves on the big penalty. And then brings up a 3rd down and 3, believe it or not. It wasn't even enough for a first down, even on the big penalty. So 3rd and 3 now for the Braves. Pitch back to Hoffman as Hoffman tries to turn the corner, and he'll be pushed out of bounds. He may have picked up the first down. We'll see where they place it on the sidelines. Very close, but he may have it, and he does. 1st and 10 for the Shikellamy Braves.
Nice play, great play. They're running that option play so nice, and a pitch play. Although the defense is recovering, that option play is not the easiest thing to defend. It all depends on what you're doing. You know, your defensive end is either going to take the pitch man, your linebacker is going to take the quarterback, or the opposite way around.
1st and 10 from the 33. And he's going to hand it to Hoffman in kind of a little delayed handoff there. And Hoffman will take it up to the 35-yard line. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 8 for the Braves.
Cuff, Shoppy, Matsura, number 21, 55, getting off the pile there.
I think you're going to see after this play, it does make significant yards. Well, the Braves don't have one. No, you're going to see
Second down, and I guess about 7 now, the way they placed the ball down. The ball on the 36-yard line. There's a minute and 9 seconds remaining in the first half. And he goes back to pass, and he was looking for Purdy, well covered. I mean, well covered in there by Dillo.
Yeah, Justin.
I mean, you don't get any better coverage than Dillo put on him that time.
Yeah, Dillo was right on him as soon as Purdy left the line of scrimmage. And I'll tell you what, Purdy's a nice-sized kid. It's tall. He has some size to him. And you do have to watch what,
73 and a half inches tall. Of course he's tall, Wayne.
Have we seen
What's
anybody
wrong with
that
you?
tall yet?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
Not 73 inches. He hands off again into Hoffman right in the middle, and Hoffman will be stopped about the 35-yard line.
Number 50, Booker on the tackle. Number 55, there's Dave Shoppy getting up again. He's playing some great defensive ball. We've seen him only playing a little bit of some offense there at the beginning of the season. Now all of a sudden we see him on the opposite side going both ways, and he's doing an outstanding job on that side.
The Red Tornadoes call a timeout as it brings up a 4th and 7, and they want to get the ball back, or at least a chance to run the punt back before the end of the half.
Yeah,
24 Bloom will go back, and of course you got the two big guys, Clea and Veach, back there, so anything can happen.
Yeah, we've seen what they can do, those two, and that's the reason why people are kicking away from everybody we put back there. And the other one that you have back there is Pilarski, Jared, on number 47, and they're trying their darndest all season long here to kick away from us, opening kickoffs, punts, and everything else.
Here's a quick replay. Look at the line penetration here. Look how far we penetrated in. He had nowhere to go, and you can see where he loses the yard on the play. That was the last running play the Braves had. So a line surge by the defensive side of the ball for Mount Carmel area now, overtaking the Braves as Bloom goes back to kick, and he'll be standing about his 24-yard line when he boots it.
Yeah,
fake to Purdy. Purdy's back to pass again, and he passes it right to Matsura. And Matsura, who got hit hard and fumbled.
I tell you what,
the Braves may have recovered it.
I think they did.
And that was an interesting play both ways. And it is, as you saw the hit coming, Matsura never saw him coming from the back end of the play, and he hits him. So a fumble, an interception and a fumble all in the same play, and the Braves end up with the ball now on the 40-yard line. So they gain about 5 yards on the play, and it's 1st and 10 with 41 seconds remaining. And again, not the crispest football by Big Red so far here.
Out of bounds there to kill the clock. Well, he was inbounds. Inbounds. They had to stop the clock to move the chains. Now they start the clock back up again.
So they bring the big fullback out. Number 31 Loffer comes out of the game.
They're
and
losing too much time here, back and forth.
Wolf looks back, and that time he was trying to hit number 10, Jonathan Greth, and he was well covered in there by Matsura. So the play broken up with 14 seconds now left, and it'll be 2nd down and 10. The ball sitting right over the midfield stripe into Mount Carmel area territory.
How many times we've called Matsura's name out throughout the season. And again, you have to remember, he's a sophomore, 170 pounds, and he's playing like he's 215 pounds. That's the heart this kid has.
Flags will fly here now. And it's going to be one of those illegal running off the field ones where they grab their heart and signify an attack. We've seen that over and over on all levels of football, college, pro, and here. They were very close to it on the last play, and he looked at it all the way and decided against it, but they didn't get away with it this time, as he calls it. And that certainly is, you just can't leave the huddle that late into the play. So they call it. It's a 5-yard penalty all the time, so it pushes the ball down to just about the 46-yard line of the Braves. He got everybody lined up now to his right side as he's under center. He'll be passing. He looks the opposite way.
Look at this.
He's got number 16 down there.
Ooh, what a crushing hit.
And that's
by
Seth
John
Temple. Seth Temple's hurt as Veach hit him.
Good golly.
But a big play by the Braves all the way down to the Red Tornado 19-yard line. There'll be a timeout on the field as they're on the 20.
30-yard field goal.
30-yard
actually
field goal,
35.
a little more than 35.
Well, he's back at 37 yards.
Right, they're setting it at the okay. So
right.
a 37-yard attempt for number 24, Bloom. He's got a nice kick, and I believe he got it.
He got it.
He did. So a field goal from the 37-yard line for Bloom, and the half ends with the score. Mount Carmel area 12 and the Shikellamy Braves 6. And it has been one exciting first half. We'll be back at the start here for the first half statistics. And in the meantime, please stay tuned for our fine sponsors. Well, gang, welcome back here to the second half of this very exciting football game between the Shikellamy Braves and, of course, the Mount Carmel area Red Tornadoes. And so far, at least, a shocking story here for the Red Tornadoes as they lead by a slim margin of 12-6. And I'm waiting for Wayne to make his way back across the field. It's about 7 miles from here over to that sideline, so it may be a while with the stats. But I can tell you right now, they're not going to be pretty, and they're not going to be what you're used to of a first half of Mount Carmel area football. Of course, Coach Brennan, apparently he hit the door yelling when he got down below us down here. He is very unhappy. He had warned them that this could happen. He told them you got to come to play, and he told them that if you expect to win a championship, you've got to beat teams like this. Even though the Braves come in here 1-6, they're a football team, and they're playing very, very good football tonight.
Danville 17, Central Columbia 7, Milton 7, Jersey Shore 0.
So we'll see what comes out here. I see Wayne now is in front of me, so he's making his way here with some headway at least. But it'll be very interesting to see what the Red Tornadoes do here as they start the second half of play. Of course, the entire season now resting a little bit here as far as home field advantage goes in the District 4 playoffs, and you could ill afford to lose tonight and lose again later on with maybe a Shikellamy game or Sidney's Grove being very tight. So all those things are entering everybody's mind here as we look at this score, and it's going to be real interesting. I'm talking about how ugly I'm sure these first half stats are going to turn out to be, and what an ugly first half we had all around. So here's Wayne with those stats.
Well, coming up, there were some body parts as I was coming back from up into the press box. I don't know whose they were, but okay. Mount Carmel on the rushing side, we got 18 carries for 64 yards. Veach 11 for 43. Ziegler 5 for 35. Pilarski 1 for 0, and Dave Shinsky 1 for a minus 14 yards. In the passing department, Dave has 7 for 11 for 90 yards. Clea 4 for 60 yards. Yasenchak 1 for 8. Lentini 1 for 3, and Matsur 1 for 19. 10 first downs. That, to me, is giving a lot of credit to the defense for the Braves.
Yep.
Now on the other side of the field, for the Shikellamy Braves, rushing department 13 for minus 2 yards, passing 7 of 15 for 84 yards, 4 first downs for the Braves. In the second quarter, I think we sort of picked up defensively. They were moving the ball in the first. Time of possession. Now here's the killer. Mount Carmel 11 minutes, Shikellamy 13. So
and that's the first you've seen that this year as the Braves have kept the ball much longer now here in the first half than Mount Carmel area did. And, of course, the story of the game for the Braves, of course, has been number 24, Garrett Bloom. Garrett Bloom's a senior kicker. He has kept them in the game with 2 field goals, one a 37-yarder here. So he's really the story of the Braves' point scoring, at least. But the Braves playing very good on both sides of the ball and very poised. They are not being taken out of position, not being caught, on a fake or anything like that. They seem very well prepared, and they're watching. The misdirection does not seem to be fooling them very much tonight.
No, I'll tell you what, the last time we had seen anybody play this good of a defense was against Shamokin, when Shamokin played their 5-2. Played their 5-2 exactly the same way that Shikellamy Braves are playing their 5-2 tonight. Staying in position, not moving out of position, as you said, but it's more of a swarming. They're losing some holes in the line. We have to give them that much, for the Braves, but they're recovering very quickly. Their 2 defensive linebackers are recovering and plugging up the holes very quickly. We've seen all season long Veach in motion, giving the ball to Ziegler, and Ziegler carrying the ball, picking up 5, 8, 9, 10 yards on a clip. Tonight, 2 yards for Ziegler, 3 yards. Uncharacteristic for our fullback, just to be picking up that short of yardage. And it's not because of Ziegler, it's because of the defense that the Braves are running tonight.
Now Carmel area will start the second half of play by kicking to the Braves. Number 8 down there is Chris Brown, along with number 16, and that's Seth Temple. They're deep for the Braves. Of course, Temple making that nice catch to set up the field goal for the Braves, and Yasenchak kicks it out of bounds just about the 29-yard line. So the flag goes up, and the Braves will take over 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. So this will be an interesting set of downs here as I assume Coach Brennan has told them set the tone here in the second half of play. So we'll see how that speech went down below us there. I heard the building was moving a little bit during it, but right back goes Wolf to pass. He's chased by Cuff, and Cuff actually caught up to him. We'll see where he goes out of bounds at, and he'll be put out of bounds. Actually, went out of bounds much quicker than I thought he did. In fact, he went out of bounds at the 35-yard line. I'll bring up 2nd and 10. Yeah, he really didn't. Okay, about the 36. You're right. About a yard.
I mean, the play indicated about 6-yard or 5-yard pickup. Actually, he went out of bounds.
Yeah, I thought he'd gotten a lot more yardage than he did, because actually he stepped out of bounds before Cuff caught up to him then.
Yeah.
So it'll bring up 2nd down and a very long 9 from, again, right around the 35-yard line of the Braves. This time Wolf hands off to Hoffman, and Hoffman's going nowhere. He'll pick up another yard on the play. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 8 for the Red Tornadoes.
Swank coming in from his defensive tackle position, making an initial hit in the backfield, then finished off by number 21, Steve Matsura.
So 3rd and 8, an obvious passing play for Wolf, and we've seen some great passing from him. They have an interesting passing offense so far, at least. They managed to load everybody up. Now they come out in a more traditional set, and that's exactly, it's a pro set here. And Purdy, number 11, closest to us, is the guy you want to watch. That's kind of his go-to guy, and that's exactly who he goes to. But either it was a miscommunication or Purdy was supposed to read the back, which he probably did. Unfortunately, Wolf didn't see it.
Yeah.
So he throws the ball away, actually.
Purdy was supposed to actually take a deep cut across the center of the field. They had split everybody out. The defense, the only one over on this side was number 85, Justin Dillo, watching Purdy. So that's all he was meant to do.
So Bloom will kick. Bloom standing about his 25-yard line, and a penalty flag. I'm not sure what this is going to be here.
No,
maybe a delay. It is. It's a delay of game on the Braves. It'll move the ball back 5 yards. It'll put Bloom kicking about his 10-yard line. And, of course, the key to that is that Mount Carmel area will have good field position after this kick is over. He's kicking, of course, to Veach and Clea. They're standing right now along their own 35-yard line. Big Red in there tough. If he kicks it to the sideline, it's going to go out of bounds. Not as good a kick as he's had so far tonight, and we'll see it. It goes out of bounds right along the 40-yard line of the Red Tornadoes. So they'll take over 1st and 10 on offense, and we'll see what the Red Tornadoes have in store here on offense, if they have misfired for most of this game so far.
Again, big pressure there by number 40, Ziegler, and number 69, Nick Cuff, on that punt. I don't know how the punter got it away, but he did. Kicked it out of bounds, killed the clock.
We hold up play a little bit here as referee sees something on a uniform I think he doesn't like, and actually it's on Shinsky's uniform that he doesn't like, so he sends Shinsky to the sideline to do something, and I don't know what that is. Hey, I haven't really seen what was wrong there.
I don't know either.
Shinsky went behind the line there. He's back by the bench area.
He's out. He brings number 85. He brings Justin.
He brings Dillo in, but he looks like Yasenchak, and that's exactly Yasenchak takes over at quarterback.
we've seen Vincey his freshman year as a quarterback also.
So Yasenchak, he hands off to Ziegler, and Ziegler's moving that pile. Ziegler churns over the 45-yard line up to the 46-yard line. Came to about 5 on the play. He'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Great play. I'll tell you what, and it is tough. You know, you're coming in, there's Vincey playing the defense or tight end the whole time, and now all of a sudden he gets behind the quarterback. And usually what happens is you usually see a fumble there because you got a different quarterback from, behind your center.
So Shinsky back into the game now from whatever happened with him. And he hands it off to Veach. Veach trying to get around the corner, and he does. Veach is down around the corner, and Veach is gone, ladies and gentlemen. That's a touchdown, Mount Carmel area, as Veach scores on a 46-yard scamper at the 10-13 mark of the game.
One thing that you don't want to do, and we've seen this time and time again, and that is to let Veach get to the outside. You want your defensive end there to cut Veach back to the inside. We had a good block on the defensive end, and all John had to do was get around that strong safety and the cornerback, and of course he did that. They did not have a good angle on him, and we've seen the afterburners kick on, and we could see what John can do once he gets out into the open.
It makes the score Mount Carmel area 18, the Braves 6, and Mount Carmel area will elect to go for 2 as they line up in a 2-point conversion attempt. Both Medalis and Matsura are wide right with Veach in motion to the right. And you're going to be looking, Veach well covered. No one's open there. We fling it in there, and we'll see if he held it. He did. Matsura catches it.
Great
and
catch.
That's a great catch by Matsura, as he was well covered by number 16, both Temple, and number 5, Kovacic, but managed to bring the ball down. So at the 10-13 mark of the third quarter, it's Mount Carmel area 20 and the Braves 6. And look, here's the replay, and you'll see the catch here, and it is really a nice catch in the end zone as he fires in. He goes way high for it and comes out of that pile with the ball. So Mount Carmel area will get set to kick off as Yasenchak, who's now both kicker, tight end, linebacker, and every once in a while quarterback here, will line it up to kick. So he's playing all the positions here tonight just for something to do, I guess. And whatever Coach Brennan said in there must have worked, as Big Red came out and looked a lot more authoritative on offense as they score a quick 6 here. It's 10-13 mark of the third period.
Coach was warming up. I got down there. The team was just coming around the corner. He was in the locker room already warming up. He was yelling that loud. So I don't know if anybody went in right away or what, but he was not happy.
So you got 16, that's Temple deep. That's again, Yasenchak kicks it out of bounds. That's 2 times in a row he's done that. Yeah. And it's going to be moved up to the 35-yard line again. He has had some out of bounds, but that's the first one, I think, 2 in a row that he's done out of bounds, and always exactly the same way. So either he's planning differently or he's not looking at something there, but I'm sure it'll be mentioned to him somewhere down the line. So the Braves take over 1st and 10 on the 35, on their own 35-yard line. Wolf brings him up. He's got Hoffman in the backfield, a lone back, and he's got people split out, and they have an offside. That'll be against the Braves. It'll be a 5-yard penalty as we had motion on the offensive line of the Braves. So it'll bring up a 1st down and 15 now from the 30-yard line.
Well, this will be the test here to see if the defense has regrouped. We've seen in that first series of downs that the Braves had the ball in the opening kickoff, that the defense did step it up a little bit and held their ground. So here's the test to see if they've come out in the second half to really play some football.
Of course, the Braves were fired up going into the locker room.
Yes,
the last second field goal really had them sky high, but they're not really looking real well on offense right now as the ball goes to Hoffman, and Matsura brings Hoffman down behind the line of scrimmage for a yard or so loss. So it'll bring up a 3rd down and 16 now for the Braves. And again, the defense now beginning also to assert itself here on the line of scrimmage.
Here's a place where Coach Babinski can do a little bit with his linebackers. They got them back, first and 15. He runs a gap play on the left-hand side and shoots Matsura through for the tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
He's going to bring Purdy wide right, and he's the guy that he goes to a lot. Purdy's his favorite receiver, the big guy, number 11, and he's looking for Purdy. Ziegler puts a lot of pressure on him, but he still looks downfield, and he aimed it at Purdy, but on the run, very difficult throw for the quarterback, Wolf. So it'll bring up a 4th down situation, and the Braves will be forced to punt.
Yeah, tough, and we had enough of coverage down there. Yasenchek was down in that area, Lentini, Dillo was down there, Veach was all down there. The ball did go over Matsura's head, and Yasenchek, Vinci almost, got a hand on the ball to make an interception.
So Bloom will go deep. I'm sorry, it's 3rd down, not 4th down. I'm down ahead of me already. 3rd down. As Wolf brings him up, he's got Hoffman again in back of him, and he has that formation to his left now. He goes right, he pitches it. That was a dangerous play. That was a very dangerous play on the Braves' part. It goes incomplete. It was a shovel pass.
Yes.
He was trying to get Hoffman on the shovel pass, but a lot of traffic, and it wasn't a real accurate pass there. So now it's 4th down and 16, and the Braves will kick. Bloom go back to his 15-yard line, where he'll kick, of course, Clea and Veach deep for Big Red.
Jeez, it's like deja vu. You just went through that 2 seconds ago.
Yeah. Seems like that, doesn't it? Smart guy.
Look at this. Look at that.
Oh.
Tackled.
He hit it. He touched it. He touched it a little bit. It'll be down at the 40-yard line, but the big guy, Cuff, finally getting a hand on it as he was close the last few times, and he deflects the punt from Bloom. And so Mount Carmel area takes over in excellent field position on the Brave 40-yard line.
You tell me how Cuff even got a hand on that, because the guy standing back there to block him grabbed him by the shoulder pads and drug him down.
Yeah. So Big Red now comes up 1st and 10 in good field position and a chance to maybe put this game away. This time the pitch goes to Veach, and he gets it. Veach continues to churn yardage down over the 20 all the way up to over the 30, down to about the 26-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Red Tornadoes, as Veach running now like a train, as we're used to seeing.
Yeah, now you're seeing a little bit of authority. We said in the second quarter there that John had come out and he was a little upset. He ran the ball, a little bit of authority, a little bit more speed, a little more power. You can see it now in the second half. I don't think John likes to be yelled at too much. You know what I mean?
This time we go with Veach the other way. Tried for a block from Ziegler, but he's not going to get it. Number 25, that's John Gombert. And Gombert makes an excellent play on Veach and takes him down behind the line of scrimmage for about a 4-yard loss. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 14 now. Gombert on a nice play for the Braves.
Yeah, usually somebody coming in to make a single one-on-one tackle with Veach, John gives him a stiff arm, and gets him out of the way. A nice play by Gombert.
Well, Shinsky will bring him up in the I formation. He's got Clea wide left, and he's going to pass as he looks back. Pressure from the strong side, but he's got Matsura out there. Matsura over the 20-yard line, and he'll be put down about the 15-yard line as he goes out of bounds, and it'll be enough for a 1st down. 1st and 10 Red Tornadoes from the 15 now of the Braves.
Excellent blocking in that line for Dave. In fact, you could see that we were watching the backside of Dave to make sure somebody had released out and was watching the defensive end on that opposite side, the weak side there, so he wouldn't crack back on Dave with his back turn. Some much better blocking and basic form blocking there for the Tornadoes.
Hand off to Veach right up the middle. Veach got running room, and he'll go right in. That's a 15-yard touchdown run by John Veach at the 8:02 mark of the 3rd period. And Mount Carmel now beginning to pull away from the Braves a little bit as Veach takes it in. The score now 26 to 6, and we'll line up this time for a 1-point kick conversion as Medalis lines it up, and Shinsky will be the holder. Alice puts it up, and I don't know if he put that in or not. it was flying there for a while, but he's not going to get it, so the score will remain Mount Carmel area 26 and the Braves 6. There you see the run, the touchdown run. He was untouched on the run. Great blocking.
Great blocking by Swank, number 54, and Booker, number 50, opening up that hole for John Veach to run through.
So Mount Carmel area starting to look a little better, but I'll tell you what, when you look at them overall, the kicking game so far tonight, a disaster. We haven't kicked off well. We haven't kicked any extra points well. So, again, you can still see somewhat of a lack of focus here as we move through this game. We are now comfortably ahead. I don't think there's a thought that they're going to come back, but still in all, not looking very crisp for a team that has two very, very big games looming on the immediate horizon.
Well, Wyalusing, I'll tell you why. You take a look, Wyalusing has one loss at the beginning of the season. It might even have been the first game of the season. They have one loss. The other teams up there, Towanda, who is undefeated at this point in time, and Troy, who is undefeated also up there. Now, the thing is, we have to play Wyalusing next week. Wyalusing also has to play Towanda at the end of the season, the very last game of their season, and they are picking Wyalusing to beat Towanda up there.
And this time, Yasenchak booms it right down the middle. He heads to number 5 there. And he'll get it up to about the 25-yard line. That's number 8, I'm sorry. I keep getting that's Brown, 8, not 5. So Brown takes it up to about the 25-yard line where it's 1st and 10 Braves. You know, just not being able to see starting to become a little bit of a detriment, Wayne. You know that?
You
You know, 8-5. I get 42 and 45 on us mixed up every time. I mean, this is...
I don't even have my roster.
They may have to consult me now as far as buying jersey numbers, so I can only buy the ones that I can read.
Glow in the dark ones, maybe.
Well, maybe glow in the dark one work. Maybe flashing ones. A little fluorescence wouldn't hurt. As Wolf brings them up, and he's going to hand off to Hoffman. Hoffman finds some room there. Some nice blocking there. Veach will be the first guy to hit him, and then he's going to be brought down by Dillo and several others. But a nice play by Hoffman, and he takes the ball up to the Shikellamy 42 or 43-yard line where it's 1st and 10 Braves.
Good. It was a good call. We had both linebackers blitzing to the inside. The middle of the line, I know Matsura was leading up through the guard hole, but, you know, they kicked out on the tackle side on the right-hand side and ran by the blitz.
Well, 1st and 10 now for the Braves as Wolf brings them up. Once again, he hands to Hoffman. Hoffman picking and choosing some room there, and he breaks free. He's eventually brought down by Matsura, but not before he takes the ball up to the 47-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 6 for the Braves.
Some different types of plays they're coming out with now. A little bit of motion play, misdirection play, and bringing Hoffman back in the opposite direction. That time running to the left of their offensive line.
2nd down, a long 5, almost 6. We hand it back to Hoffman, and he goes down immediately with Matsura on top of him. As Matsura made a lot of penetration, Hoffman tried to escape the tackle, but will go down. We'll lose yardage on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd down now and probably about 7.
Tell you what, some good line play defensively on this left-hand side with Swank, number 54, and Booker in the center of the line playing nose guard all night tonight. Enough of a gap there when they're running a split play on defense for Matsura and Yasenchak to get through.
Again, right up the middle this time, it's the big guy, it's Laufer, and Laufer breaks the tackle and puts it out into Mount Carmel area territory, all the way down to the Mount Carmel area 44. Heavy and tough run by number 31, Laufer, the fullback for the Braves. And the Braves now have an offensive drive going here at the 6:05 mark of the 3rd quarter.
Well, they opened up to a different page on their offensive playbook.
Yeah, they did.
They are coming out. They are running totally different. Nothing option about this. That looks sort of like the old Sally play that we used to run, trap in the center and, you know, go left and bring it back to the right-hand side.
We said they were going to probably have to bag the option. It just wasn't working, but they've come out with a different offense. And again, I said we're going to bag the option, and they didn't, and they should. The option play is not working. They're going to lose yardage again, all the way back to the 47-yard line. And I just get done saying they bagged it and they ran it. It just is not going to work there. Not fast enough to get around the corner. the offense they're using there for a while with those slash-type plays inside the tackles and the traps where they were making some bread and butter. And now it'll bring up a 2nd down and 13.
Okay, here comes that.
So look at this again, the formation.
We got everybody,
shotgun.
everybody out to the left now on this play as shotgun. And again, he heads right for number 26, Hoffman, and Hoffman's going to be drugged down by the end, and that's Cuff. Chases him from behind. A flag down on the play, probably against the Braves.
It might be illegal formation. No, holding.
Holding on the Braves.
How could you have a holding play on that? That's unbelievable because all Wolf did was turned around. He took one step and threw
Yeah,
the
I'm
ball.
not sure who held who there, but
Boy, oh boy.
when you look at that play, that time Cuff, you see the speed of the big guy. Cuff is the defensive end, and he ran Hoffman down from behind and tackled him. So gives you a little indication of how much speed is on that defensive line for the Red Tornadoes. The Red Tornadoes will decline the holding penalty as Hoffman got back very close to the line of scrimmage. It brings up about 3rd and a long 10 for the 1st down where they place the ball at. So Mount Carmel area is saying, we'll hold you with a 10-yard nut to crack here and see if we can't turn you over. So there it is. And I might have wanted to drive the ball back just on the punt part of it, but I'm not second-guessing anybody at this point in the season. Handoff right to Lawfer, and Lawfer's going to gain about a yard on the play.
That was
so it'll bring up 4th and a long 9.
That was their option play. It was just a straight dive play, and he handed it off to Lawfer going up off the right side over their guard position.
So they were thinking about whether they wanted to kick or whether they wanted to go for it. The Braves decide to kick. I think a wise decision, but now they're going to be a little short of time. They have to get lined up. Remember, their last punt was partially blocked by Cuff as Bloom goes back in punt formation. He's standing about his own 43-yard line as he'll kick the ball down. This time, very little pressure, although, again, Cuff almost got him. Veach will take it. He picks and chooses and backs up, but he's going to be pinned to the sideline where he'll go out of bounds. A nice kick by Bloom as he's been really a bright spot for the Braves tonight.
I don't know. I'll tell you what. I really don't know how Cuff missed that ball again. He's playing his defensive end position, but every time he goes in for the punt, he's taking a different route. Now, the last time he took an outside route. This time he took it inside, and actually he came up through the center as if coming up over the center of Shikellamy.
It's 1st and 10 for the Red Tornadoes. The ball on the Red Tornado 11-yard line. So that's why I was thinking take that holding penalty, at least gain yourself some yardage on the kick and try to hold them. But be that as it may, we'll start at the 11, and this time we come out in a passing formation, but we'll hand it to Veach right up the middle. And Veach continuing to churn yardage up as he goes over the 15 and down to about the 17-yard line. Should bring up a 2nd down and about 4 as he picks up a good 6 yards on the run play up the middle.
We're blowing some holes in the interior line. It's just that one person that's catching Veach by the ankle as he gets into the secondary a little bit there. That's just stopping him from breaking it wide open.
But Dallas now in the lineup for the Red Tornadoes, and Lentini, they're both wide as Veach comes around the end, and Veach will cross over and gain the 1st down and then some as he takes it up to the 22-yard line where it's 1st and 10 Mount Carmel.
Boy, John had some open room here to the outside of the field coming towards the Shikellamy bench. I know you're running and you're looking for your blockers at that point in time, but he did zip around the strong safety coming up, or the corner man, and boy, he had some open room to the left.
And right up the middle of Ziegler, and Ziegler's pounding his way up over the 30-yard line up to about the 32-yard line of the Big Red, where he's, again, about a yard short of the 1st down. Will bring up 2nd down and 1.
Now you see again, you see a little bit more blocking, I would assume, in the middle of that line. We get some good blocking there, but we also picked up the linebacker that time, and that's what sprung Ziegler for that extra yardage. In the first half, Zig was only picking up 3 yards, 4 yards, which is uncharacteristic for his running this year. He's averaging 8 yards, and that's really great for a fullback.
And at the Ziegler again up the middle.
Look
The
at this.
fullback
Look at
breaks
this.
loose.
Come on, Zig.
And now you're seeing this
Go,
fullback, the big guy, put some speed on. He's going to be finally brought down there by number 8, Chris Brown. But there you see the big fullback rumbling. Here's a replay coming up, and you'll see the hole he had in the middle of the line.
Take a look at Matsour running down with him, and Matsour's trying to pick off 2 kids at one time.
And he nearly did it.
Zig.
He nearly got
did.
it. Here you'll see the hole in the replay, and you'll see Ziegler, just a quick opener popping right up the middle.
And that's Matsour in motion, going
there
the
it
opposite
is.
direction.
Right, and now look at him. As
Oh,
he
no, that
rumbles.
was Josh.
Clea.
That was Clea.
That's Clea down there.
And almost did it. Almost, he was trying to get in front of number 8 and number 86. Ziegler, nice run by Aaron Ziegler.
So it's first and goal. We have a Brave player on the field right now, hurt on the play, but it'll bring up a first and goal from the 9 for the Red Tornadoes as they once again are knocking on the Braves' door here in the third period. There's 2 minutes and 2 seconds remaining here in the third quarter.
Okay, taking a look now, if I can decipher what our boy Phil has down here, and we always get this week in and week out, all this information from Phil. Right now, Mount Carmel has 14. No, that's not right. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 1,400. We have 1,400 points at this point in time, while Lusing has 1,190. Now, here are the factors, because Phil runs through the computer week in and week out. He makes all his phone calls to make sure of the games, especially. He calls the District 4 head up. Mount Carmel, if we go undefeated for the rest of the season, will pick up 1,610 points in District 4 playoff. If we lose to Selinsgrove, we'll end up with 1,400 points, 1,400. And while losing, we'll end up with 1,180 because they would have lost to us the previous week. If we lose to while losing, we end up again with 1,430 points. So there's many, many different factors here. The only thing that will hurt us if we lose to Selinsgrove and while losing loses to Towanda. Towanda then will end up with the most points and end up in first place.
Pitch to Veach around the end, and Veach has one guy, and he'll pop it in. Touchdown, a 9-yard scamper by Veach at the 2-minute mark of the third quarter, and Mount Carmel area now pushes its lead to 32-6 over the Braves with the extra point to follow. Here's the replay, and you'll see there was very little way you were going to stop him as he gained the corner, and once he got the corner, there's just no way you're going to stop him. So a 9-yard run. Veach, I would venture to say, well over 100 yards now in the game, as he had probably his very low productivity in that first half. Dallas puts it up this time very high, and he gets it. A flag down, and I believe that's going to be roughing the kicker again, as the flag went down right at the spot that the kicker was. That's the second time we've seen that happen, and again, it is a roughing the kicker penalty on the Braves. That'll be assessed on, I believe, we'll assess that on the kickoff since the extra point was good.
Yeah.
They're looking at us, but I'm assuming that's what we'll do. Unless he wants to go for 2. I think he's trying to probably take the point here, and he does. So they'll assess that on the kickoff at the 1:41 mark of the third quarter. It's Mount Carmel area 33 and the Shikellamy Braves 6.
Well, it's certainly a different team to come out on the second half here, that's for sure. And those little pep talks that Coach gives us, of course, you know, they do work, and we can see the intensity a little bit here, especially the blocking scheme with the interior line and the downfield blocking. We saw exactly what Ziegler did running, you know, all the way from about the 30-yard line down, and now John Veach scoring again tonight in the second half again on a very nice run, untouched, in fact, as he goes into the end zone.
So the big guy, Yasenchak, will tee it up. Deep down there is 8, and that's Brown, and 16, that's Seth Temple. The up back is 82, and that's Matt Reinhard. We take an awful lot of time between kickoffs in this game. Have you noticed that?
Yes,
What
I did.
What takes so long to get the kickoff set up here from the refs? So the big lad tees it up. And he'll let it rip, and he puts it right down the middle. It's going to hit and bounce. He went to an up man, number 46, and he is whacked, but keeps his feet. Took a nice hit, but stayed on his feet. And that is Michael Martin on the play for the Braves.
Number 56. I don't even see 56 on our program. We've gotten new white uniforms, but I don't. 56, whoever 56 was, made a
Beaver,
crushing.
maybe?
I have no idea. Crushing block on that receiver, on that kickoff return person. I'll tell you what. I haven't seen it. The other one was John Veach in the end of the first half there, but man, that was one heck of a hit.
It's 1st and 10 from the Braves from their own 28-yard line as time runs out, and a fumble as Wolf and the center have a problem with the exchange. Wolf drops on the ball. It'll be Brave football, but brings 2nd and 10 up.
Again, now that might be because of the defense. Defense has stepped it up here in the second half, putting a lot more pressure on Wolf than what we did in the first half. Wolf might be moving his feet a little bit more to get out from behind the center, and those are the things that occur. You know, the center snap comes back just a little bit slower, and, Wolf isn't there anymore.
Wolf looks back, and again he heads for Purdy, his favorite target. And Purdy hauls it down, and a great catch by Purdy. He was covered well by Dillo. You'll see the replay here, but Purdy made a nice catch, and he takes it up into Mount Carmel area territory at the Mount Carmel area 48-yard line.
Now, Justin is right on his back. He's right there. It's just that it was such a high pass, and it came down in the right place for Purdy.
Well, watch how high Purdy goes for it here, and here it is.
Right.
You see how high up he went. And just a great play by Purdy that time. About 25 yards on that pass play, and it's 1st and 10, Shikellamy Braves. This time Wolf was going downfield. He was heading for number 16, Temple. Temple was covered, but he had a little bit of a seam there, but he couldn't get the ball to him. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10 now for the Braves.
Number 1, Matt Medallison is a strong as the free safety. I guess we're giving John a rest, number 25, on the sidelines.
And we have Pilarski, Lentini, and Medalis in the backfield along with Dillo. And the option play, this time to the opposite side. He's got Hoffman with some room. And Hoffman's going to be brought down, but a flag, and it's going to be holding against the Braves.
Well, it's either going to be holding or clipping, one or the other, because it looked like it was well below the waist.
Wolf comes up limping a little bit, but I think he'll be all right. He took a hit, but he looks like a trooper. I don't think we're putting Wolf out of the game. He's having a fairly good game here tonight against Big Red.
No, you're right. It was holding against the Braves. Brings it back, but there was so much pressure at that time on that side there after the pitch.
The option really has not been a successful play all night here. We talked about it a little bit in the first half, and they didn't go to it much towards the end.
No.
They're only using it now, I think, just to loosen things up here. Obviously, it just does not work very well for them without the kind of speed you need to get around the corner. So it's going to bring up a 2nd down now and 23 for the Braves with the penalty. Ball on their own 40-yard line. Right up to Laufer, and Laufer is going to lose yardage in there. That's Matsura who gave him the first whack and knocked him down. So he'll lose a couple of yards on the play. It'll bring up 3rd down and about 25 for the Braves. About 3 seconds remaining here as time will run out here in the 3rd quarter. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the 3rd quarter of play here in Sunbury, Pennsylvania. It is Mount Carmel area 33, the Shikellamy Braves 6. Stay tuned for these messages from our fine sponsors and supporters of Mount Carmel area football. So as we come back here for the final 12 minutes of play, ladies and gentlemen, please let me remind you once again, you are watching WKMC TV. We are the broadcast arm of Mount Carmel Area High School. We are an instructional fixed television service. You catch us every Wednesday night, 8 o'clock, Channel 13, courtesy of the Service Electric Cable System. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, WKMC TV is live in the morning at 7:30, Channel 13. Tune in and see us live every morning. Get all the school news, all the sporting news, all the news that is the news at Channel 13 for WKMC TV. So Wolf brings them up. It's 3rd and 24. He looks downfield to Purdy, and he overthrew Purdy, and he threw it right to Dillo. So Dillo with the interception in Brave territory, and he takes it down to the Brave 38-yard line. He was heading the whole time for Purdy. Never looked anywhere else. It was designed to go right there, and he just got behind him.
Releases so quick. Now watch Dillo's in perfect position to make this interception.
You see, he throws it. He was way past Purdy, and Dillo was just standing back there. Purdy had no chance to touch the ball, even as you saw in the replay. So Mount Carmel Area takes over on the interception. It's 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line of the Braves.
Oh, it looks like we got Vincey back in there as our quarterback.
Yasenchak is that quarterback. You're right. I'm not even sure why on that one. First we've seen Yasenchak all season at quarterback, and he pitches back to Veach. Veach turns the corner and continues to churn up some yardage there. He'll pick up the first down and then some as he puts the ball down to about the 26-yard line of the Braves. And I really can't explain why Yasenchak's in there.
Did you see the glass in his eye? The little gleam when he saw the defensive end coming in. He wanted to hit him.
Yeah.
He pitches the ball. He turns around. He goes the opposite direction. He's looking, I want to hit him.
So a little twist for Mount Carmel Area as Yasenchak plays quarterback for the first time all season.
I'll tell you what, this is not a bad play by Coach. We're giving somebody else a little bit of time behind the center, behind Swank, just in case something might happen.
We're going to let the big guy pass. Man, let him run instead as he,
took 3 guys with him.
As he crosses over the 20-yard line down to about the 19 of the Braves, and you can see when he gets ahead of steam going, you don't want to stand in his way.
Well, I would have to say this is exactly what Coach is trying to do. You never know. We saw this happen to Sebas last year in the very last game of the season against Selinsgrove when he broke his hand. And what happened? We had to bring Dave in. Of course, Dave didn't have any experience at that point in time and did an excellent job last year and took us the rest of the way.
2nd and 3, a 7-yard gain. This time Ziegler churns up the middle. He'll pick the first down up and a little bit more as he puts the ball down inside the 15 to the Brave 14. 1st and 10, Red Tornadoes.
Now, I'll tell you what, Vince looks very good out there.
Yeah, he does. You would think he played quarterback all season at the rate he's going out there.
And don't forget, he didn't play it at all last year.
Right, no, he not the quarterback. He played quarterback as a freshman. We had not seen him since that time, but he hasn't lost a step anywhere in the game, has he?
No.
Pitch to Veach the other way. Veach has some room, and he's going to be tough to stop, and he is. A 14-yard gallop by John Veach at the 10:39 mark of the 4th quarter. Mount Carmel now area out to a 39-6 lead, and we'll go for the extra point in a second.
Did you see the number of blockers that were still out in front of Veach when he crossed over the goal line? That was unbelievable.
Now, the second half, of course, a completely different half than the first half. We played about as poorly as we did all year, although I want to say that the Braves played an excellent first half of football. That one, he's definitely got it high, but he got it. That's as high as it goes for an extra point, but it's good. So the score at the 10:39 mark of the 4th quarter is Mount Carmel Area 40 and the Shikellamy Braves 6. And here you see the touchdown run by Veach, and again, nobody touched him until he hit the goal line. So Mount Carmel Area now dominating on both sides of the football. But the Braves, come in here 1-6. They come off a win last week against Mifflinburg, which is, from what we understand, a pretty good rivalry for this team.
Right.
And this was a game to build on. This is a young football team, very young football team. You're going to see this
seniors?
team. Yeah, 4 seniors actually starting on either side of the ball. So, a lot of good things happened for the Braves here, at least in the first half of play. second half, the game kind of got away from them here, and in the fourth quarter, I think you'll see Mount Carmel area resting a lot of players and putting some new faces in there. Although I think it might be hard to get Yasenchak out of that quarterback spot.
It just amazes you, his talent and his ability and what he can do. And I mean, you're talking about a kid that's been going both ways now, has been playing linebacker and blitzing and everything else, and now all of a sudden is poised enough to get down behind the center and take some time as quarterback back there. And it's a great opportunity. This is what you really want right now.
Well, Yasenchak boots it off. High kick, it goes down to number 32, and that's Mance. And Mance is coming up the field, and he almost squirts through there. He brings it up over the 30 to the 34-yard line. A nice return by Mance for the Braves, but they'll take over 1st and 10. And as I said, we see a lot of new faces in that Mount Carmel area defense. We'll try to run them down for you as best we can.
Okay, we got number 58, Steve Polifka. Now remember, Steve Polifka was injured 2 games ago, I think, and they sat him out there for a little while, and he's back in, number 58. Number 29,
and that's Buggy.
Damon Buggy.
Damon back from a knee injury. The first game he's back since the knee injury 2 games ago. So Wolf's going to hand it off to number 26, Hoffman. It'll be a holding penalty on the Braves as they're now starting to deteriorate a little bit offensively. New quarterback in there for the Braves, at least on that play, was number 10, and that is Greth. Jonathan Greth, the new quarterback for the Braves.
Number 37, John Kerpridge in. Number 32, Ben Hynoski. 45, Mike Lashinsky.
Mount Carmel area now, a lot of new faces on that defensive side of the ball. And, of course, the Braves need to do this. I mean, you want to get these kids some playing time. This is the future of this program as Coach Kirk tries to rebuild this program from the depths of what it's been in the last few years anyway. And this is how you do it with young kids. He has a nice squad here, a lot of numbers out here, and some good-looking athletes, but they're just young and not a lot of experience. So this is the way you get it for them. Greth keeps it. He's going to be brought down by number 45, and that's Pilarski. Maybe 42. No, 45. That's not Pilarski. It's Lashinsky.
Mike Lashinsky.
Pilarski was 42, but he was right there close.
Was he close?
Yes, he was.
He probably ran right by Mike, and that's the reason why you saw 42.
I will have to go to Lashinsky's house and personally apologize to that entire family pretty soon. I don't figure out which one of those it is. And then I'll go to the Pilarski household and apologize to them. This is turning ugly here with those 2 numbers. The Braves will call a timeout here as they weren't able to get the play in and get it set up. So Coach Kirk goes in and talks to them. And, of course, we look down here and finally pulled away a little bit, a sigh of relief over on the red sideline as everybody's kind of calmer now than they were. Just a good game all around from the Braves in that first half especially, and tested us. But we talked about it last week. We said we didn't think we came in flat last week, and Coach Brennan acknowledged it that we didn't. That North Schuylkill was just a good football team, and Coach Chesney had them riled up and crazed as he usually does, and they played tough. So, he agreed with us on that, but I think he's also going to agree that tonight it took us a whole half to get in gear. The first half we just did not come here to play. And that was evidenced by 4 fumbles. I mean, how many times do we see that in a Mount Carmel game? So there were a couple of things that went wrong there in that first half, but we turned it around in the second period. And I believe you're looking at an entire new, looking at an entire new defensive unit for Mount Carmel area.
Number 60, Jesse Vogler's in there. 61, Jared Owens is in.
Yeah, Jared at Supper Club last night. Fine-looking athlete, big guy. I'll tell you what, he's a good-looking athlete.
Number 77, Joe Tom Cabbage.
And we got some new guys in there, and we'll see how they do. And I'll tell you what, they're big, though. We haven't lost any size with this group. As Greth is going to go back and pass under heavy pressure. He looks over to Hoffman. He was trying to get a screen pass rolling there and make a quick turn and get it to Hoffman, but he got it over his head. It'll bring
Buggy.
up
Buggy almost getting a hand on it there for an interception also.
It'll bring up a 3rd down and 14 now. And Buggy, quite a story. I mean, there's a guy, kid gets hurt pretty badly in the knee. No real major damage, but rehabbed it every day. You know, fought hard, came back. And Coach Brennan can't say enough good things about him. He really likes him as a player and likes the courage he shows. And here you see him, you know, back here already in the season still and playing tough. So that's good to see Buggy able to come back.
That rehab stuff is almost hurts almost as bad as the,
as the injury does.
The injury does after they get done with you, twisting you and turning you and everything else.
It's good to see Damian back in the lineup. The whistles blow before they even get to play off, and that'll be delay of game for the Braves as they have some new people in there on offense also, and can have a little bit of trouble at least getting out of gear for the first series or so. 9 minutes and 31 seconds remaining in the game. You are 1 point away from the mercy rule, so the clock will continue to operate as it always does. So Greth will come in, and I'm sure in 3rd and 19, he's going to need to pass the ball a little bit. We'll see. He's got Purdy in there. Purdy, number 11, is the big target. He's still in the football game, and I'm betting that's which way Greth's going to go. And he does. He's chased hard there, and I believe that is Beaver, and he does go to Purdy, number 11, and he's very close to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, 31. Brian Lawfer, he hit.
Oh, was that Lawfer? I'm sorry,
Lawfer.
Not Purdy. Lawfer, I'm sorry. And a flag down again. I'm sorry about that. I thought it was Purdy was the deep guy there. Lawfer came underneath. Goes against the Braves.
Illegal man downfield.
So they'll talk to the Red Tornadoes to decide what it is they want to do. Big Red says leave it the way it is and let them punt on 4th down. And going back for the Red Tornadoes is number 32, Wayne, and number
32, Ben Hynoski, and
42.
number 42.
That's I can't believe you don't ask Pilarski. Come on.
Pilarski.
What's wrong with you?
I was making sure it wasn't Lashinsky.
Hynoski and Pilarski, with maybe Lashinsky somewhere else, just to get covered on me on that time. But poor Lashinsky. And I see his dad, you know, every supper club I could kick myself. Gets the kick off. Nice fall by the kicker. As Bloom did one of the best acting jobs you see in a long time. Wasn't able to fool anybody, but gave it a good shot at it. Mount Carmel will take over 1st and 10 inside their own territory. The ball sitting at the 39-yard line.
Okay, it looks like some of the same players on defense came over. Number 79, John Skinner, is still in there in the right tackle position. They still want to give him a little bit of time on the offensive side. 61, Jared Owens comes in.
Dara at quarterback now. Dara has come in at quarterback for the Red Tornadoes. And he hands off to Pilarski, and Pilarski will be stopped for no gain. Well, maybe a yard. It's going to be close, but it'll bring up a 2nd down and a long 9 for the Red Tornadoes as Pilarski takes the ball. Who else is in the backfield with Pilarski at the moment here?
Mike Lashinsky, number 45.
Lashinsky, was he the fullback on that play?
He was the fullback on that play. Number 89, Dan Evans is in, playing the tight end position. Damian Buggy and number 37, Kerpridge, split wide right.
Pitches to Pilarski. He's got some room as he comes over. Be a penalty on the play, as we were going to have a clip on that play as he got around the corner. It was very close, but he managed to clip him at the last second, and that'll go against Mount Carmel area, and they'll march the ball back as the game is turned a little sloppy here as we try to get these two new teams in sync and in gear here.
58, Steve Polifka. 35, Robbie Shivelhood now comes into the game.
Well, the ball's going to move back all the way inside the 30 to the Mount Carmel area 29-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down and about 1,100. 2nd down and 20.
Good call.
How'd you like that one?
Good call.
I knew you'd like that. Darren takes the snap. He pitches to Pilarski. Pilarski trying to get outside. Pilarski's going to be met there and gain no yardage. It'll bring up 3rd down and 20 for the Red Tornadoes.
Pilarski just could not. It was a great play by the defensive end for the Shikellamy Braves. Keep him, to the inside. Pilarski tried his best to get to the outside and just could not make the turn around the corner.
Seven minutes and 33 seconds remaining here in the football game. Mount Carmel out to a 40-6 lead over the Braves. It's 3rd down and 20. Ball sitting at the Mount Carmel area 30-yard line. Dara's going to go back and pass, and he does. And he's looking over in the sideline there.
Nice catch.
He's got number, who?
I don't know.
Buggy.
Was that Buggy?
29, Buggy.
Yep. Damian Buggy in on that reception. A nice pass. He dove for the ball. It was to the outside. Dara making sure that it was not going to be intercepted.
Here's a replay. You'll watch Dara with a nice pass and Buggy with a nice reception on the sideline. So
Nice.
it's 4th down and 8 now. That was a 12-yard pickup as Dara now steps back in the punt. Nice kick by Dara. Kicks it to number 16, who picks it up on the fly. And 16 is going to come all the way the other way here. And he tries to squeeze by, but he's going to be knocked down hard there. You got Lashinsky and number 67 coming off there.
57.
57.
57 is Shane Geary coming off the bottom of that pile also, making that stop.
1st and 10 now for the Braves. Greth hands off, and that's Hoffman as he chews up some yardage in the middle out to the 45-yard line of the Braves with a 3-yard gain. 2nd down and 7.
Number 56 again made the tackle. Unfortunately, in our program in New Jersey's, we do not have number 56, his name here.
I think it's Beaver. I really do.
You do? Do you
I
think?
believe it's Beaver.
Okay.
Greth the pass, finds the big guy Purdy, and he's put down by Lashinsky, 45.
Good call.
Thank you. Brings up a 3rd down and about 2 now for the Braves.
Nice stop by Mike. Coming in on that linebacker position there. And Purdy's been doing a good job all night long, and he is a big boy.
Yeah, Purdy's had a good football game here tonight.
Good football game tonight.
Greth
Fumble on the play.
It's recovered on the play. It was handed off to number 46 for the
Braves.
and that was Martin. Martin kind of fumbled the ball right at the line of scrimmage. He lost about a yard. It brings up 4th down now and about 3.
Again, they were running that Sally play, the old Sally play, bringing the halfback from the left side in motion, misdirection, everything else moving to the left of the offense, and he's cutting back to the right. And they did have a nice trap block going on the inside. Handoff was miscued.
I want to say hello to a Mount Carmel boy here in the Shikellamy staff. Of course, Sean Sheptock, a coach here for the Braves. Greth to go back to pass. He's under some pressure early, and he incomplete. Down to number 26 for the Braves was where he was heading for.
That was Hoffman, Andy Hoffman, number 26. Jesse Vogler, number 60 for the Tornadoes, coming in from the defensive tackle position, putting a lot of pressure on the quarterback.
So it brings up 1st and 10 on the play, as that was 4th down for the Braves, and they will turn the ball over on downs. And Mount Carmel now takes over in Brave territory at the Brave 49-yard line.
Number 75, John Aremic, comes in the tackle, right tackle position.
Dara brings him up. He's got Lashinsky out in front of 32. And 32 is going to be knocked down hard
Ben
there. Hynoski tackled hard in there. We'll see who gets off the pile, and that's Loffer, 31. So the linebacker, Loffer, still in the game. He was a first liner there, same with Purdy. There's a couple of guys still in the football game. As now number 35 goes in, and we'll see who they pull out of there. And they pull out the big guy there, 66. So they are slowly but surely replacing that defense for the Braves here. 4 minutes and 35 seconds remain in the ball game.
We got Lashinsky, the fullback, and number 30, Mark Kovaleski, the tailback.
The offside on the Red Tornadoes.
Illegal procedure against the Red Tornadoes.
It'll be second down now and 15. This fourth quarter is becoming about as long as the whole game combined right now. Pitch it back to Kovaleski, and he's going to be brought down for a loss on the play as the Braves bring him down at the 40-yard line.
And Purdy, number 11, is still in there, and he does make the tackle.
It's about a 5-yard loss. It'll bring up third down and 20.
Ben Hynoski, number 32, in now at the tailback position. Mike Lashinsky, the fullback, in front.
Right up the middle, and that's Lashinsky on the quick handoff to the fullback position. He crosses over and gain a couple of yards. It'll bring up fourth down and 18 now for the Red Tornadoes, and Dara will go back in punt formation.
89, Tim Burgess making a stop for the Braves. Number 83, Scott Hutko, in to be the long snapper on his punt.
Dara gets it off in the direction of Hoffman, who hits it on the fly, and Hoffman makes a nice move there and still on his feet. Still on his feet. Still on his feet. He's on his feet all the way to the Mount Carmel area sideline where he's finally pushed out of bounds. It'll be
Number
first
45,
and 10.
Mike Lashinsky,
on the play. So the Braves take over inside Mount Carmel area territory at the Big Red 44-yard line. There's 2 minutes and 43 seconds remaining here in the game. Shotgun formation for Greth. He looks over at Hoffman on that isolation play, and he has Hoffman, and Hoffman comes down all the way to the 34-yard line where it'll be first and 10 for the Braves.
Number 3, John Dara, making a nice open field tackle there. It's difficult. People just don't understand how hard an open field tackle is with the halfback coming down or the receiver coming down, and you're standing there, flat on your feet like John was, and you have to make the stop.
So Greth now with the first team backfield still in the game, and it's going to go to Loffer, the big guy, and Loffer keeps churning some yards, and he breaks loose. Loffer will be brought down, but not before he takes the ball down close to the 20-yard line.
Shivelhood
on the tackle. First and 10 now for the Braves on that play. The ball is sitting on the Mount Carmel area 21-yard line. The Braves continue to drive. Most of that first team still in for the Brave offense. This time Greth will drop back to pass. He's looking for number 16. That's Temple, and Temple's got it.
Made the catch.
Touchdown, Braves. Nice play by Temple as Dara was all over him in the end zone, but Temple was able to bring the ball down, and the score now, Mount Carmel area 40 and the Braves 12. And of course, kind of a meaningless touchdown for the Braves, I think, in that they left the entire first team in here in the waning moments of the game. I can't believe they don't have some other players that need to get some experience. I often wonder why a coach does that.
Yeah.
But whatever reason he has, we'll watch Bloom here line up for the extra point. He's kind of automatic. He is good. He is a premier kicker, this kid.
I'll tell you what, he has good strength in his leg, too. You can see that. But I'll tell you what, on that play, though, when you watch that, watch Dara. John Dara has him covered all the way. In fact, I thought Dara was going to make the interception.
We'll make an interception there for a second. With 1:30 seconds remaining in the game, it is Mount Carmel area 40 and the Braves of Shikellamy 13. As the Braves will line up for the kick. And again, I just do wonder why we had the first team in there at the 2-minute mark of the ball game when they're being behind by that many points.
Yeah, especially the young team that they do have. You don't
want to play some of those kids.
Sure, their starting team only had 4 seniors on it. And you think that, they would want to get some of the younger kids in and get them some experience.
So the Braves get set to kick as Bloom tees it up here. He's going to be kicking deep down there too. Dara in the middle. Kovaleski over on one side, and I would think over close to me here is who? He's 30.
Ben Hynoski.
Ben Hynoski.
32.
I'll wait till he turns a little bit, and it's going to be a squib kick, and it's going right out of bounds. He squibbed it to number 26, Hoffman. So Mount Carmel area will take over 1st and 10 as he got a little bit too much height on the squib kick.
Carmel takes over.
So where's the ball placed at the 43-yard line of the Red Tornadoes as they come out to start the offense.
1:37 seconds left in the game.
A shorter guy there for a second, but we got everybody in there now. It's always a nightmare for a coach to make sure everybody's in there, and now a penalty is probably too much time, or he threw a flag. I mean, I'm not sure why. Kovaleski stood on it.
Well, I
don't even know if he'd do that. He throws the flag for no reason whatsoever, and then Kovaleski walks over and stands on it and doesn't realize it. So Dara goes back to pass real quick, and he's got number 35 there open for the Red Tornadoes.
Robbie Shivelhood.
So Shivelhood on the pass. So 1:02 remaining here in the game as Dara hands off right up the middle to the short back, Lashinsky. And he'll take it up over midfield, or just about midfield. That's where exactly they're going to put it. It'll bring up 3rd down now. I'd say 3rd down and a long. It's 3rd down and 4. How's that? It was going to be a long 3, but it's now 4.
Second half, you come out just like the team. You're decisive. This is what it is, I'm telling you.
Right or wrong, I say it.
That's right.
That's what they'll always be able to say about me. He didn't care if he was right or wrong, he just said it. This will be probably the last play of the game for the Red Tornadoes as Kovaleski carries the ball, and he's stacked up. 16 seconds remaining in the game, and that will be it for this ball game. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking to see now what they're doing. They placed the ball back down. The clock stopped for whatever second. And please don't tell me the Braves called a timeout.
Coach called a timeout for the Braves.
Oh.
And he's out there. He just wanted to see you just...
Why would they do that?
I have no idea.
I would seriously question the thought process behind a timeout at the 10-second mark of a 40-13 whacking. So
I'm
going to do it. I will never understand why we did that.
Why doesn't that surprise me?
Well, I'm sorry, but I just don't.
Well, he wants to give 10 more seconds to somebody out there on the field.
It's 4th down and 5, and the question here is what will Mount Carmel area do? I mean, are they going to go back and try to kick, or are they just going to run the play off, which that's what they're going to do. Sure. They're going to come up and line up and run the play off. But
he's telling Johnny Dara, run around for 10 seconds.
Just not really sure why they did that. So Dara goes back to pass, and that's exactly what he's doing.
Yep.
As he cuts it upfield, and he's going to go down.
And he picked up the 1st down.
Yeah, he did get the 1st down either way, but that's the end of the football game finally with the score of Mount Carmel area 40, the Shikellamy Braves 13, in a game that in the first half was a very hard-fought and tenacious game between these two teams.
Oh, yeah.
The Braves giving the Tornadoes everything they could hope for and more. from a football team. So the score a little bit deceiving as far as how the first part of the game went, but Mount Carmel come out in the second half and absolutely turned on the afterburners and buried the Braves.
Well, I'll tell you what, some good defensive play by the Braves. You know, our hats off to them. We came up here, and again, you know, you're looking at some of the press release coming out in the last couple of weeks. They beat Mifflinburg in the fourth quarter, 7-6. They come out and scored. You know, so you start looking at stuff like that, and you sort of get a little lackadaisical in your play. And Tornadoes now, again, had 2 games that they could relax, and now's the time that they have to turn it around a little bit, and they have to get serious about what's going on. They're going up against one of the contenders in the District 4 next week, Wyalusing. We know that they have 1 loss, and they have a good team up there. And you have to remember, our team has to drive 2 hours all the way up to God knows where in that country up there. You know, and then they have to get off the bus, they have to relax, they have to loosen up and everything else. The ride's not that great. The week after that, then we're talking Selinsgrove, which is the last game of the season. So we have to take each one of these games one at a time. We have to get back up to the same keyed up point that we were against the Allentown Central Catholics, the Shamokin areas, you know, the Marion Catholic Colts. So, you know, it's going to be we're back into the season again. This is the way it's got to be now.
All right, there's not a whole lot more to say about tonight's game. Of course, 40-13 the final score. We will see you on Friday night up in beautiful Wyalusing Valley. If we can find it, we're leaving, of course, Tuesday morning, so we get there by game time. But, again, tune into us for that game. And, of course, remember, this is WKMC-TV. And for WKMC-TV and Mount Carmel Area High School football, I am Warren Altamar.
Hey, Wayne Brokenshire.
Good night.